Today, we're going to start by taking a look at the U.S. election process and, how it's different from Canada. It can seem complex, of course, but here's a simple breakdown. Okay. There's a couple of different types of elections. There's two main types of elections in the US. First, we have the primary elections. These are held by political parties to choose their candidate for the general election. Voters from each party select their preferred candidate. In Canada, it's similar to the leadership races within parties, like the Liberal Party or the Conservative Party, to select their candidates for the general election. Then there's the general election. This is the main election where voters choose between the candidates from different parties. Political parties. The two biggest parties in the United States are the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Canada has several major parties, including the Liberal Party, the Conservative Party, and the New Democratic Party, the NDP, each with its own platform and policies. The United States has an electoral college. Instead of a direct popular vote for president, the U.S. uses the electoral college. Each state has a certain number of electoral votes based on its population. When people vote for president, they're actually voting for a slate of electors pledged to that candidate. A candidate needs a majority of electoral votes, so at least 270 out of 538 to win. Canada uses a similar system called first past the post, where the candidate with the most votes in a riding wins. There's no separate electoral body. The party that wins the most ridings usually forms the government. Voting process. Elections are held on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. I'll say that again. Elections are held on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. One more time. Elections are held on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. Federal elections in Canada are typically held every 4 years, and Canadians vote on a day determined by the Prime Minister. Voters can cast their ballots in person, by mail, or at advanced polling stations, similar to that in the U.S. Campaigning. Candidates campaign for months. They make speeches, they attend rallies, and advertise to win over voters. Canadian candidates do the same thing. They campaign, they hold town halls, they have debates, and use social media to reach voters. Campaigns can last several weeks to a few months in Canada. Swing states. Some states are more competitive and can vote for either party in different elections, which makes them very important for for candidates. In Canada, certain ridings, especially those in suburban areas or regions with mixed political views, can swing between parties in different elections, making them key battlegrounds. Now, understanding these basics can help you see how the U.S. political system works and how it influences governance. And I gave you a few kind of comparisons to that in Canada.